Hey.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight within the cauldron. Well, I guess today. I guess it's mixed up.
We got our time zone mixed up. We're so used to, being on in the
I,
evening or at night.
I know it does get kind of crazy sometimes, yes. Today is going to be a little bit different because we're having a podcast about when magic or when music becomes magic. Something that a lot of us witches may not know about how music is so important in our magic. And from the two best people I know that can explain everything to us with the answers, even go beyond, is two of my friends that are both pagan musicians that has been in the limelight for years. And I just want to introduce them to you guys now. First, we got Alexian. Hi, hon.
Mary
Hey,
Meet, how you
Alexian.
doing?
Army. And then we had the most beautiful Meren King.
Hey,
Hello,
Maren.
everyone.
And we're just going to go ahead and get started here. So, either one of you guys can answer this question, or well, these questions, or you can take turns, as whichever you like. But the first question I have for you guys is how has music historically been used in magic and spiritual traditions?
Maren?
Well, could you say that again? Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
How has music historically been used in magic and spiritual tradition?
Ah, yes. Well, music has been used spiritually for centuries. Many different religions use music. We've got your Christian hymns. We've got the monks who do their toning and their chanting. The Islamic people have their music as well that they use, and a lot of other religions, and of course pagans. We use music all the time. And I had actually written something up about this. Group singing is a really big thing in a lot of the spirituality folks that use music. It promotes a sense of belonging. It fosters community and a sense of oneness. And it also relieves anxiety. It calms the soul and the body, and it raises spiritual consciousness. So it's a really useful thing when you are in a group religion or even a solo. A lot of our pagans we're very solo practitioners, and like for me, I love to use music all through my day to bring myself back into the moment spiritually and to just help me sometimes get through my day. Now, magically, it can be used to foster a lot of the same feelings, especially in group rituals. And as I said, it can do individual magic work with music. It puts us in a certain frame of mind for our spells, for our magic that needs to be done. And it can take us places, both transcendental and transformational. And that's my answer.
Yeah, I would add that it's really about many things combining together into one. It's repetition, it's rhythm, it's breath, it's intention, and that can bring on a trance state. And like
Mhm.
Maren was saying, it's found historically in many different traditions. There's Hindu traditions, the Vedic mantras, the Buddhist mantras, Gregorian chant in Christianity. Wiccan and pagans use it constantly. Our being a musician and being the high priest of the coven, my coven knows so many chants, and we use them in ritual to cast circle. We use a specific chant to call the quarters. We use a chant to dismiss the quarters. But you know, it doesn't have to be done, but it is something that helps a lot. And drumming itself can be used in many, many different ways. A steady drum beat causes entrainment. You know, entrainment is to connect and to become one, right? Both with the body and the mind. And it helps, as Meren said, to gain altered states of consciousness. And rhythm moves people out of the ordinary awareness and into something more sacred and more ritually conscious. There's, of course, with drumming, there's all sorts of different drumming. There's Siberian shamanic drumming with frame drums. There's African religions, you know, voodoo, santeria, candomblé. And actually, inside candomblé and these African religions, there are specific beats that are associated with specific deities and spirits. So just the rhythm itself calls out to the other side. Of course, native tribal ceremonial drumming in ancient Greece. You know, we have the cults of Apollo and Dionysus and Demeter and Orpheus, of course, and being a worshiper of Bast, I have to say, and in the Egyptian temples, you know, with the sistrum, which is very Bast, rattles and harps and chants, and yeah, it's a way of, I believe, you know, after being alive for 60 years now on this planet, I have come to realize that all religions are trying to do the same thing. And if you look closely, we all have things in common, right? And if we focus on the commonalities, that puts us in a place of love. And if we focus on the differences, it puts us in a place of fear, right? But if we talk about music specifically, you know, it's like we're calling out to deity, to spirit, saying, you know, we're calling you, we know your song, we're opening the door so that you may enter and be with us now.
Exactly.
Yes, yes, I agree. And I know, being a high priestess of a coven as well, how chanting and singing is very important to make the whole ritual to come together. And it's very emotional at times because you can feel the emotions, especially with some of the songs or the words that, you know, you have in it. Yeah, it's something that I think everybody should use, music and magic, but I'm just being biased, probably.
Something else is it can be used to clear and to protect. So instead of calling in, it can do the opposite as well. In fact, you know, we use bells in traditional Wicca. We use bells to do transitional sections, but also there are rituals that you do to, well, we have a ritual that I have handed down to my students that is an exorcism for a new house. So when you move into a new house, you're cleaning the house, you're clearing the house. And it's very animated and very fun. And you go around the entire house 3 times to begin, banging on pots and pans. And let me tell you, the first time you go around, everybody's like laughing and it's all giggly and we're chanting as we're banging, right? Second time around, things get a little more serious. Third time around, it's like, whoa. Like the energy comes in and you can feel the cleansing happening, you know, between the banging of the pots and the clapping and the chanting and it's just mass chaos, right? And but it works and it scares away all the evil spirits. And that's not something that's new, right? In the old times, they used bells and gongs. They still do in other religions, and chants and horns to cleanse and clear an area. And it's basically saying all, you know, hekes bebeloi, right? All unwanted and bad spirits be gone, right?
Wow. That's something I think Meren Red can probably use when she does her paranormal, after she gets done with,
Yeah.
investigating. Maybe she should go
Yeah.
around and do that.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding.
Can you
Yeah.
sing?
Yeah, do a cleansing. Absolutely. Instead of doing the sage, I'll do that instead. Absolutely. Well, that's funny because I was going to ask you both, how do you think, how do drums and chanting and bells and singing bowls affect the energy differently? And that's like the perfect answer.
Oh, quite a bit, quite a bit.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I bring myself into a space is I have a small bell, and I ring it and I let it go until it stops, and then I do it again. And not only does it clear the space, but it also lets the energies know, hey, something's happening.
Right.
What's going to happen? Is it going to be a prayer? Is it going to be a song? Is it going to be a little ditty? Is it going to be a screaming out to the universe? What's it going to be? And so having that bell not only brings me in, but it also brings the powers that be in as well.
Yeah.
And I love music. Yeah.
Something else I just thought of is, we talked about African rites and, pagan rites, but there was this morning and I was half asleep and I got up and I was making breakfast and I turned on the TV and of course it went to some live channel and it happened to be Sunday morning. And it went straight to a Christian broadcast, right? And I, rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, as a pagan, right? But then I stopped and I just froze in my tracks. And I wholly believe that this happened for a reason because I had a revelation. It was a Pentecostal church. And they were speaking in tongues and they were rolling in the aisles, holy rollers, as they say back home where I'm from.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, my goddess, they're doing a cone of power. They're bringing down the gods, right? That's the same thing, different religion, right?
Yeah.
It's the same energetic form. And I just had this revelation. I'm like, I have to check my shit, wow. Okay. All right. I think I just caught something there, So we're all trying to do the same thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know we do public rights. We always tell my students, I want you to really express your voice. I want you to have the passion into your voice and just almost scream it out, because it makes everything so, I even get chills right now, but it just makes everything so much, I guess you say powerful.
In the moment.
Yeah. It's like the gods are wanting you to have that desire to do that.
And answering again about the drumming, almost every time that I go to a public ritual, one of the things that's happening first is there's a steady drum beat that brings everybody together. And pretty soon we're all kind of moving our head, we're moving our body to that drum beat, and it's bringing us all into the same rhythmic space. And so that we are all present in that moment for the thing. And it's just instrumental in making sure that we are all centered on what is happening here and now. And it's just, that was one of the things that I fell in love with when I first found group pagan ritual, was the fact that there was always hand drumming. And it's a fabulous thing.
Can silence be as important as sound in ritual work too?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I would dare to say even more important.
Yes.
So
without the silence, it's just noise, right?
Right.
Silence equals listening. Right? So
very succinctly said.
Where chanting and music is projective, listening is receptive, right? And I'm going to go off into a little tangent, real short one. Let's talk about the human senses for a second. What sense is related to earth? Touch, right? What sense is related to air?
No.
Smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smell,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
What sense is related to fire?
Is that eyes?
But,
Eyes. That's right. Fire, photon, light,
Mhm.
right? Light is fire. It's coming from the
Mhm.
sun. What sense is related to water?
Taste.
Hearing and the
It'd
vibration.
be the
Taste.
mouth,
Taste.
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 Yeah.
And so that only leaves the fifth sense. What sense is related to spirit?
Hearing.
Yourself.
Hearing,
Obviously
listening.
yourself too.
Okay?
Hearing, listening, the whole body.
Sound is spirit. Okay?
Mhm.
Sound is spirit. In fact, there's a quote. I know I'm going very Christian today, but like, I don't know why, but that's coming out. But there's a quote: in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Let's think about that for a second. The Word was God. Deity equals word.
Mhm.
Word equals sound. Therefore, deity equals sound. Om.
Mhm.
Okay? There's this whole concept within quantum physics, but I'll talk about that later if we have time.
I just wanted to show off my drum. I'm sorry. I don't get to play as much as I want
That's
to.
Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
I know. That is gorgeous.
Yeah. I'd have to jump by myself sometimes because I'm in a very tight country town with only like 800 people. So
Yeah.
I would go down the road banging on that kitty.
walking out in the woods doing it myself just because I
Follow
want
me, follow me.
I love it.
I am going at this time. We do have some more questions, but I'm going at this time. We are just going to kind of go away, meeting Red and I.
Okay.
And I want you guys to take over like you're teaching everybody because everybody in the audience is here and they want to hear what you have to say. You know, this when music becomes magic is very important for everybody. I'm sure you two will definitely agree. So we're going to be on backstage
Okay.
and audience, be nice to them.
Well.
Well, you go first because I just talked.
Oh, I don't know. What shall we talk about? Let's see. So, how do we use our music magically? Now, you are a group practitioner. You work within a coven. I am a solo practitioner. I work with myself and nature. And for me, nature is my church. It is where I go to replenish anytime the world in my screen becomes too much for me. I go outside, I sit on the grass, I touch trees, I talk to the trees, and I sing to whomever wants to hear me, whether it's the birdies, whether it's the little buggies in the grass, the crows, my cats through the window, whatever it is. And one of the things that I try to do is remember, even through all of the insanity that's happening, uh, I am grateful. I am glad to be here. I make up little songs for the moment to to bring the magic back into my life. So as a single practitioner, I can reach out to the collective spirit by sending vibrations out into the ether.
That's it.
And those collective vibrations end up coming back to me
That's right.
and healing me and helping me to know that while it all looks horribly scary right now, it's going to be okay.
Mhm.
We will be okay. And so that's one way that I use my voice magically. What about you?
To me, I mean, music is magic, and magic is music. Sound is deity, deity is sound. It's all one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you outlined, the ability of music to generate causality and magic is real. It really is. You know, we talk about intent behind spell work. Well, it's the same thing for songs, the intent behind the song. So the beautiful songs that you make up on the moment are divinely inspired to begin with. Those are coming through you spontaneously. And you're opening your mouth and you're letting the sounds of your soul, right, go out, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, those vibrations, like you said, are going out into the ether and they're setting up little ripple patterns. Even in quantum physics, in science, they talk about the butterfly effect, you know, where a butterfly flaps its wings on one side of the earth and it causes a little ripple, which sets off a domino effect. And, you know, maybe a week or two later, a storm pops up on the other side of the planet, right? Cause and effect is a real thing, and we can use our voices as a tool to create change, not only in our own lives, but in the world around us, other people's lives, the planet as a whole. So I have experienced this time and time again, and the more you sing and visualize what you want in your life as already being here. So you're coming from a place of gratitude. You know, you hear about this all the time, especially in the new age world. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude rock, gratitude this, gratitude prayer, gratitude. But what does that mean? It means that you so believe and know that it's already here, that it is here. And those ripples go out into the world, go out into the universe, and they come back as coincidences, right? Little
Serendipity.
opportunities pop up, little opportunities. And it's our job to act and take action towards those opportunities. If you want $1 million, you have to still go make it happen. It's not going to, you know, come in a little golden wrapped package on your doorstep.
Well, not
you have
always,
to
anyway.
do something, you know. So you start by setting your intent, and then you open your mouth and sing the sounds of your soul.
That's beautiful. That's very right. That's very true. Yeah, I like that. Singing, one of the things that I have found in singing music for other people is you can take your experience, like we take our experiences, we take the things that have happened to us or that we want to happen to us, and we find the chords and we find the scale and we find the mood and the genre of what we want to create. How we want to take our experience, how do we make that experience into a song so that when we present it to others, they feel and see the same thing, or their version of that same thing. And that makes the song not just a little happy ditty, which happy ditties are great, but it makes it the thing that people come back to again when they want to feel that way again, or when they want to think more about the idea that was inside of that. And listening to that helps them to percolate and to help generate more ideas of themselves from what you've presented, what you've created, how you felt about the thing. And that's one of my favorite things about writing songs, is singing it for someone and seeing that light sparkle in their eye that
Oh,
says,
yes.
I know that. I feel
They
that.
get it. They get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where the music, which we could say very simply is, notes and words, turns into that magical thing, that story, that little golden gem that people just keep coming back to for one reason or another.
That's right. That's right. I'm going in a scientific way today. It goes back to the law of three. You've heard of the law of three in magic. Well, in sound in general, I studied this in college. There is pulse, there's wave, and there's form. So pulse is the pluck of the string, right? In the voice, it's the the flip of the vocal cord.
The vibration.
That's a vibration. That's a pulse, right? I'm talking about one click is a pulse, right? That pulse puts energy, and the energy, like if you imagine a flat line, and the energy comes up, but then it creates a wave and it comes back to zero, but it's too much momentum, so it goes below, and then it comes back to zero again. So in the beginning, there's silence. And at the end, there's silence, right? There's the alpha and the omega. Everything starts and ends with silence. In sound, in thought, in everything in the universe, it all starts and ends with silence. So you have the pulse, the generating aspect, and then you have the wave. And as musicians, we measure this as cycles per second, frequency, right? How many, what frequency, how fast is that happening? And then that creates form. And the coolest thing that I love to play with is the Chladni figures. And I know you know what those are, but for those that don't, it is when you take sound and you subject some sort of media like sand or small particles on a water, right, on a flat surface, and the sound reorganizes the matter into patterns, right? And this is an example of sound organizing matter. And one of my favorite workshops to do is a workshop I've been teaching for a year called the Magical Voice. In fact, I'm teaching a workshop called Awakening Your Magical Voice next month at Summer Magic Fest here in Orlando, which is inside a hotel. So look up Summer Magic Fest. I'll be there Saturday morning teaching this workshop. But this is all related back to the bigger picture. So that's sound that we're talking about, but it's also found in the quantum field theory, right? Late at night when I'm falling asleep, I bring up my iPad and I read articles on science and technology to fall asleep. That's like how I fall asleep. So I'm educating myself little by little about all this heady stuff. But the quantum field is ever present. It's like an entity that's ever there. And we as humans are just local condensations of that field, like the sand on the media that's on that sand, right? But eventually what happens is we disintegrate and return to the field. It's really, really a spiritual thought. And this law of three, pulse, wave, form, it's found in all religions. Christianity, the Father, the Holy Ghost, and the Son. In Hinduism, we have Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. In Kabbalah, if we look at the first several sephirah, we get Chokmah, which is the pulse, the projective force, Bina, which is the wave. She's known as the dark sterile mother, the wave, the ocean. And then, of course, Tifereth, which is the sun, or Malkuth as well, which is form. Pulse, wave, form. Pulse, wave, form. And it is said in quantum theory that if that pulse ever stops, the entire universe would just go and disappear instantly.
And speaking of that pulse, our Earth has a constant tone. There is
Yes.
a constant note.
Mhm.
And it's so deep that we can't physically hear it, but our bodies feel it. And that's where it's a constant, that when you are silent and you perhaps you're sitting and you're grounded, you can begin to hear that tone and you can pick it up in yourself. And oftentimes it comes out the A, that 432 hertz, the healing tone. That for me, that's what often comes up is just
Yeah,
that.
it's right below the 440. Yeah.
And you can feel the pulse of the earth as well. Well, because for one thing, if you put your hand down in the earth, like right now, I have my hands on my desk and it's vibrating from my voice. So when you put your hands on the earth, not only are you feeling the earth, but you are feeling what you're putting out into the earth, which is your heartbeat. Your heartbeat is your constant rhythm. We are instruments. And so that means, I mean, we are instruments. We've got our drum beat and our heartbeat. We have got sound. If you put your fingers in your ears, you can hear your blood rushing. That is your tone. That is a constant. It does not that same note, but it is a constant going in and then in speaking. I Not everybody speaks in a monotone. We don't talk like this. Our voices rise and fall with music. There are different notes and the way that we say a thing makes a difference.
Oh, yes.
And it's the tone of our voice. Oftentimes you will hear, well, the tone of your voice indicates, and it's very true. How you say a thing really matters. And so we are instruments because we're constantly making sound. You humans, you're so noisy. I read in some science fiction story one time, and it's just because we are constantly broadcasting. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I want to comment on
the earth. Yeah,
I want to comment on the tone. I've taught music lessons for over 36 years, vocal lessons as well. And my students, I hear the same things over and over throughout the decades, but my students would sometimes say, oh, well, it's not perfect. I'm just so frustrated because I can't get it perfect. And I have to calm them down. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. We're not trying to be a computer. We're not trying to be a robot. It is that personality, the emotion, the angst, the grit that you put into your voice that makes it human, that makes it real. I always teach my music students, if you feel it emotionally and you sing it, that emotion is carried in your voice, in the sound waves to the listener, and they're going to feel it too. If you sing it absolutely perfect with no emotion, it's going to be dead. They will not, and they'll clap. Yeah. But they'll be like, oh, very polite clap.
Yeah, well, because it's kind of, we need to do that because, he tried.
It's the emotion. You're really selling emotion and that experience of being human, both the intent in the mind, but also the heart. Yeah. So I wanted to comment on tone. Yeah,
that's what, I mean, all music is an emotional experience, whether it and it's pop 40 and it just makes us want to dance around or be angry or be happy and silly, and so that's why a lot of times, like when I'm writing music, I look and I think, how is this making me feel? And if I sing it If I sing it in this key, say I sing it in a major key, is this going to present things the way that I really want to, or should I switch it to a minor key?
Yeah.
And now we're going to be more mysterious. We're going to be a little more magical, because we're going off into the minor notes and the sevenths and the ninths that add those accent tones that make what we're saying a little bit more magical than if we sing it in a major tone. The major tones are most of the time they're happy and they're up, and a lot of the times the minor tones are a little bit more not necessarily sad, but a little more contemplative and a little more, what are we really talking about here? So I think that how we choose to present the music makes a big difference.
Oh,
and how we choose
absolutely.
to receive it also makes a big difference. If we're just, listening to top 40 to bebop our way through the day, it's a lot different than if we're sitting down with a specific, say, something from Jim Donovan, who does a lot of sound healing. If we're listening to him, and specifically we have our what we want to accomplish, which is to help ourselves and our vagus nerve, and or to bring us into more awareness of our body and to heal ourselves. It's a big difference between the two things, but they're both music and they're both magical in their own ways.
It is said that the most important things and the most money you should spend in your recording studio is in your mic and in your speaker. But if we put that into the process of, making music and listening to music, our voices are the speaker and the listener is the mic, right?
Yeah,
So without it doesn't work. You have to have both sides of the coin. If you're not in the mood to receive a contemplated sad song, you're going to just change the channel, right? Because you're in the top 40 bebop cleaning the house mode, right? And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I have to also say, I just released last month my new song Scream.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
The destruction of the planet. And I had a hard time recording the vocals. Honestly, I started crying. I was actually crying in my recording studio.
Well, it's something.
And I'm like, I gotta calm down because I gotta get this out,
Right. Yeah, but when our emotions take over, we can't sing anymore because it's just. Now, granted, if you can put a little emotion in your song, then you've got the audience crying too. But you put too much in, then it's like, are they singing? What are they doing?
You can't sing. Yeah, you get verklempt.
Verklempt. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. So yeah, I mean, what else can we talk about?
So how do you I want to ask you, how do you go about writing a song? Do you now for me, a lot of my music has been inspired by specific things that I'm going to be taking part in. Like, say I'm going to be in a full moon circle. One of my songs, Transitions, that speaks of reincarnation. I wrote it specifically for a circle that I was attending there, where we were speaking of the different ways that people think that we transition. Do we go to a new life? Do we go to heaven? Is it nothing? And so I specifically chose a key and a rhythm pattern that would give you a mysterious feeling. And then, of course, the lyrics were all about, I imagined what it was like. And so I told the story of how I transitioned into from one life to the next. And so with that, how do you go about finding a song for specifics?
Everybody writes different, and that's okay. My process is I start with ideas. Okay. song ideas, song hooks, just ideas. And they are everywhere. They are literally everywhere. I teach a whole class on songwriting. I have a degree in songwriting from Berkeley. So I teach a whole class on just where to get ideas from, and they are literally everywhere. And so I'll share with you one of those now. And that is, do you have any books around you?
Yeah.
Grab 3 books.
Well, hold on.
Any 3 books, doesn't matter.
Well, right now they're all Sabbath almanac.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yep. Okay. I got 3.
All right. Let's start with the titles. What's the title of the first book?
They're all the same.
That's okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that might not be the best example, but
Wait a minute. Oh no, this one's nope, that's an almanac too.
I see where our focus has been.
Well, I've been using all the other books are out in the living room.
Okay, well, let's skip that then. Think of 3 names from movies or television shows.
Oh goodness! And now, of course, I've got 1,000 coming, and I can't stop. 3 names. All right, let's do Dean and Sam and Castiel.
Okay, those are names of people, aren't they?
Isn't that what you said?
No, names of television programs or movies, like titles of movies.
Oh, titles of movies or titles of shows. Okay, so one show is Supernatural.
Okay.
Okay, another show is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
And then give me another television show. Okay, I can see all these names going, and I can't decide.
It's okay. We'll just go with the 2.
Okay.
So Supernatural, fabulous title. Write a song called Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I might write that down myself. So here's the thing about titles. They can't be copyrighted.
No, right?
That's why there are so many songs with the same song title.
Oh my goodness.
The same name in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? Thanks to the government and the Copyright Office at copyright.gov, there's this electronic library that you can search for song titles and television titles and movie titles, and all of them are up for grabs. So if you have an emotion that you're trying to emote, but you don't know what to call it, and you don't have an idea around which way to go with it, go to that database and type that emotion in and see what pops up. And you'll get a slew of titles, and you just go through them, and all of a sudden one will pop out, and you'll be like, oh, that's a great idea. And you write it down, right? Mm-hmm. I use a Google Drive, and I have this one folder that has all my song ideas in it. Okay. And I'm constantly adding to it, because you can do that on your phone, no matter where you are. And I also encourage my students to do 10 minutes of free writing every day. So you're sitting down and you are, okay, I'm doing my 10 minutes of free writing. Start the clock. I don't know what I'm going to write about. Oh, look, there's a bird outside the window. I see a bluebird outside the window. He is singing. He is singing for his lost love. Sing, bluebird, sing. He is so sad. You get where I'm going. You're just free writing. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. 5 years in the future, you're looking through your one file that's 10 minutes of free writing a day, but it's one file in Google Drive that you can search. And you're like writing a song about being sad and blue. And you type sad and blue, and guess what pops up?
That bluebird.
Bluebird. And all of a sudden you have a visual that you never thought of in the moment that you yourself wrote 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you can pull that visual and that aspect into your song. So these are the type of tricks and tools, like we call them tools. They're in songwriting. There are no rules. There are only tools. That's what I teach.
I like that. Thank you. I'm adding that.
And And it is true. There are no rules. Music is like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Music is in the ear of the listener. So,
Mhm.
I myself are not into rah, 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 singing,
Right.
but I can handle a little bit of that sprinkled in here and
I'm
there, but
telling
not
you,
the
I'm listening to
mainstay.
the
Not the
Vikings lately.
mainstay, right?
All the Viking music. Whoa,
Yeah.
loving it.
It's not my thing, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean somebody else doesn't appreciate it, and I appreciate them because they are finding joy, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, how do I write my songs? I come up with the idea, and then I develop an outline, and then I work on an emotional arc. It's got to tell a story. It's got to have
Right. How do you want the
have
story to
movement.
go?
I have all tools for that too. Then I start disseminating and each section, the segments of the song, verse, chorus, that type of thing, and into that arc. And then comes the hard part, the meat and the potatoes, which is fleshing out the words and fleshing out the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is a whole nother thing.
Oh my goodness, it is.
Stresses in the verse are very, very important. And what we're trying to do is make everything point in the same direction. So if we're heading for happy joy, then everything should be happy and joyful, like you were saying before. But if you're wanting to write a sad song, you don't want to put it in a major key. You want to put it in a minor key, right?
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
some other modal
Right, some
you
other
know.
scale, some other type. And what I really loved is there is more styles of music, I think, than there are people sometimes, because you can go through and you can say uh, to the internet, you can say, um, show me some different types of scales, and I can't, I never remember the names, but you've got your Oriental style and your East Indian style, and your basic Western style of chords and scales. Not all scales are the same. Do re mi fa sol la ti. There, some scales are do re fa
Yep.
la so ti. They don't include the all that the Western does, but then again, they'll have
I think
half
you're talking
tones.
about pentatonic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that's what I love about the songwriting journey, is discovering all the things that I don't know already and trying to learn them and incorporate them into a song.
There's always
And
something to learn.
or the
Always.
Oriental scale, I just absolutely love a lot of the Oriental scales, and it's truly, music is magic, because I don't know about you, but in writing that song, there's so much comes out of me and goes into the paper and into the music, and through the voice, that it's a magical act in itself, the creation
Oh,
of the song.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I just did what did I did a TikTok, I think. Or was it? No, it's a new post for my my email list. That's what it was. I have this whole thing, but I think I did a TikTok on it a long time ago. But anyway, what's the ultimate definition of deity?
Right.
Creator.
Right. Oh yeah, you just sent that
You want to
out.
be
Yeah.
more godlike. You want to be more close to deity.
Yeah.
Be more
Yeah.
creative.
That was
Be more
today. You sent
creative.
that out. That was
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. That was just the last one that I wrote.
Right.
But it's so true. When we as musicians birth a song, it's like birthing a baby, and we keep fussing over it. But eventually, we have to just let go and let it go off into the world and fly.
Right. Just let it
know?
be. Let it
Yeah.
be.
But speaking of music spiritually, you're talking about chords and scales and stuff. Repetition really is important. It stops the mind from following, and it actually puts us in a state of entering the music, like becoming the music, right? In the
Right.
repetition. So that's why chants, which are repetitive,
Mhm.
really trance you out so fastly, right? And
Right.
then like drone, I love to put like pedal points or droning sounds underneath when I'm
I
doing
love
something
drones
that's
underneath.
more meditatively focused,
Mhm.
because it really helps trance you out. When it comes to melody, then you can get into your modal scales, you know, Dorian, Phrygian, Aeolian, Mixolydian, Lydian. They all feel older and more sacred.
Yes. Yeah.
And then harmony, you know, when the harmony is ambiguous on purpose and unresolved, you know, like don't add the third, just do open fifths, or
Right.
suspension chords, suspended chords, or tensions, T9s, add 9 chords. That all makes things feel unstable, is a word that we use in songwriting, unstable, right? So the rhythm of a heartbeat feels primal, right? And as you were saying earlier about the drum leading everybody together for ritual, that's very processional. Whereas fast drums raise energy, right? And then you go to the vocals, the vocal intention and tones, whispers compared to raw voice. You know, it's all about presence and resonance and emotion. I already talked about, you know, putting emotion into your voice. And let's not underestimate the power of the reverb. So it's mimicking a cathedral, or in pagan world, a cave, which sets that atmosphere. And you feel like you're submerged in water of sound, like a sound bath, which is the new way of saying it, right? Sound bath, right? And then we add, I always say, you know, spice it up, sprinkle it in. That's the last thing I do when I'm recording, which is adding bells and chimes and voices and winds and cackling
the little notes,
fires
the little
and
lines
water
on the
and
top.
birds. And you end up with something very magical and spiritual that moves people to feel and to connect with one another and deity.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, hello, welcome back.
Thank you. You guys are excellent together. I think, I'm hoping that the audience has learned so much from you both. I know I have. Some are, some I even got 3 books out. I'm like, quick, give me 3 books real fast. So my husband got me the
What'd you get?
Alpine Witchery. There, hey, that's a good song.
Alpine what?
Witchery.
Witchery.
Ooh, there you go. There's a song title.
And then
why do I hear yodeling?
The Black Arts.
Another good one.
Another new one, The Witch's Door.
I love that one.
You grabbed me these 3, and I'm looking at them. It's like, okay.
That's a good song title.
To his defense, he didn't look; he just grabbed. So.
The Witch's Door.
Yeah. We're gonna see who comes out with a song first.
That's right.
When you was talking about how the drumming is, because I just did an AI recording, because I cannot sing. You don't want to hear me sing. So I did an AI recording of a song that we did as a coven into a chant called The Lord of the Sky, that's on our YouTube channel.
I love it
and
too.
We added in the past, over the years, we added in the elements, you know. And so I just released it to see how it was. Not going to publish it, and you know, because it's our song. Now we only got one, so but we did the verse, Lord of the Sky, when we was at the very first public ritual that our coven ever did together. We marched in the forest with a panpipe and, of course, some drumming. And we walked up to the forest singing this chant.
Love it.
It's like everybody's like, where can I get this chant at? And it's like, you can't. We just did it on top of our head, you know, we just did it. And for years, everybody wanted it. And I'm like, no, because I was afraid somebody was going to steal it for themselves, you know. So I had a copyright it and everything. But with the drumming and the panpiping and the, chanting up to the ritual site, it just made everything so powerful, so passionate. And it's like you felt all the creatures coming out, which they did come out. We saw lots of deer and even a fox. And, it was nice just seeing the creatures coming out just to listen what you have to say, and then going around in the circle, doing the spiral, and stuff, creating the cone of power. It's like the fire just whoosh, it's like 10 foot high or something. So yeah, it's a power of music. It really is.
Indeed.
So, but you guys both have, now I know, Meren, your song "God Is Calling." I think you
I did a remix.
I think you read us a song when we did Goddess Day last year. Beautiful song. You both have incredible songs that I've heard.
Alexian's Red Album song is also very powerful.
Yes.
If you folks haven't had a chance yet, I'm going to do a little shout out to the Red Album. Go over to the Red Album at bandcamp.com, and every single album that's sold, we still support the National Abortion Federation and I can't remember the whole name. Access. What's the rest of the Alexian?
I knew you were going to ask me.
Anyway, we it still supports reproductive health for people in this country. So it's very important. Both Alexian and I have songs on there. And Alexian's song, I remember he said he could never sing it live.
Elevated Access. It took me a second.
Yeah. Because it's so powerful. It's such a powerful song in word and music. And of course mine, I'm calling all the female goddesses to come and help us, please, because this is ridiculous.
Well, when you, Alexian, was talking about when you recorded the song Scream, how emotional you got.
I did.
I mean, and I know when I was listening to that chant that we did to make into an AI song, and it was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so much different than what we sang, and and it's like we had emotions, but the AI was like, it just, the memories came flooded back, and tears coming down, because it's like, wow, it's a powerful song, I think, and so I know when you said that about Scream, I was thinking, I just experienced that myself.
And for me with Scream, it's because it's all true. It's all of these horrible images, but they're all true, and it just rips my heart out, that we're, as humanity, we're destroying the earth, and it's really about Mother Earth, saving the planet. If you haven't heard Scream yet, you need to go check it out. Alexianmusic.com/Scream. That's the landing page, and that has links to all the different streaming places. You can hear it for free.
I'm going to post that within the Cauldron Facebook group and Discord group too, as well, along with some of the songs you both have, so people can listen to them and everything.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Both of your songs, Meren and Alexian, you can tell they came from the heart when you wrote the songs.
Right.
So.
I wrote Scream like 20 years ago.
Wow.
And you just now sending it out.
When I say I've been teaching music for 36 years, I'm not kidding. But now I have time, you see. So you'll see a lot more songs coming out from me now.
Oh, yay.
Online courses. I'm doing a whole course online called, Awakening the Magical Voice. I'm teaching a workshop next month here in Orlando, but I'm actually making online courses where you can get certified. It's basically magical pagan vocal lessons, if you will. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm taking all my music education and putting a pagan spin on it as a priest, and then putting it online at alexianmusic.com.
That's
Love it.
awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. That's awesome.
Mhm.
I have to. I really, it's weird. It's like my purpose on this planet, my reason I am here is to be a teacher and a healer. And I do that through my craft and my music. And I feel obligated that I have to do a complete brain dump before I pass away and
Yeah.
get that information passed on to everybody else, you know? So
I know. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel, and I think most musicians may, actually feel that way too, as well, or even authors. We got to get out what we really do think, and a lot of people still don't say what's on their mind. Everybody's too scared to,
Mhm.
especially in today's society. And
yeah.
if you are always scared, you're not going to let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
And you just got to put your voice out there, whether it's in writing or, a song or a book or whatever, or just speaking.
Say it again. Open thy throat and
Yeah.
sing the sounds of thy soul.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Otherwise, you won't be heard.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. So, any plugins you both would like to do? I know, Lexan, you just said a little bit of plug-in there. Meren, did you have anything? I know now you're going to a pagan event. You just came back from Free Spirit Gathering.
No, I'm going to be down in South Florida at Pagan Pride Day. Hold on, I got to get while I go and find that information, I can tell you I'm going to be at the Florida Pagan Gathering, and that's going to be for Samhain. My concert's going to be on Thursday afternoon, and then I am going to, hold on, let me find the graphic that I shared about it. It's the South Florida Pagans. Hold on,
That's okay. We have all day.
The South Florida pagan hold-ons.
Let me go over to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/MerenWentari, if you want to go over there. But so I posted, I'm sure I did. Oh, here we are. The Grove, South Florida. South Florida Pagan Pride Day, Saturday, October 10th. I will be down at Oak Ridge Hall in the Treetops Park in Davie, Florida. And then, of course, at Florida Pagan Gathering. And if you need somebody in Florida to come and sing, I'd be more than happy. I've got like up to 2 hours worth of music that I can share and stories I can share with you guys. So reach out to Chrissy or reach out to me directly through merenking.bandcamp.com, or as I said, facebook.com/MerenWentari. My name is Meren King on Facebook.
Awesome. And Lexan, you have some QR codes you want to share.
Bring out your magic wands. Bring out your So this is to my newsletter. If you want to get on my email list and be the first to know about my upcoming courses, as well as new song releases, just scan this code and you'll go straight to sign up on my newsletter. If you don't have your magic wand, or you're watching on your magic wand, then you want to go to alexianmusic.com. And then in the upper right corner, there's a little box that says purr, P-U-R-R, purr. Bast is my matron goddess. So my newsletter is called Purr, right? My second QR code is for my community. And yes, there is a free tier. We have a bonfire bardic circle every 2 weeks. We meet up and we sing songs together for free. We tell poetry or tell stories. We read poetry. People have shown their crystal collections. I'm still waiting for a belly dancer. Haven't got one yet. But that is for the community. If you don't have the ability to scan, that's at alexianmusic.com/community. It's that simple. And the last one I'll share is for my Chant of the Month Club. For $1.29, you receive direct in email a new chant that you can use. They are specifically for ritual or spell work. Some of them are spells themselves. Everything from prosperity to banishing the negativity out of your life. That can be found at alexianmusic.com/chant. Very simple. There you go. Thank you for letting me share those.
Of
That's
course.
what my life is going to be the next year or two, is developing all these courses and writing new songs. But after that, I hope to get out and about more like Meren and do some more performing.
That would be
Awesome.
great. He's come and played for us a couple times over at Trees of Avalon Gathering and gave
Love it
classes
there.
over there. And it was a wonderful concert. Yeah, if you can
Thank
see
you.
him in concert, go. And if you can go down to the Summer Magic Fest down in Orlando, do that. Yeah, because there's going to be some great classes, and of course Alexian Saturday morning.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm hoping, I know I've been talking to Melissa Anderson, and, you know, we was thinking about doing kind of like a music / event here in type, you know. It wasn't talks last year. Then we kind of got away from it. So now we kind of like gathering it up again, thinking about it. But it'd be here in Iowa. With some property that a friend has, and she has like 40 acres, I think.
Wow.
And I think, you know, everybody can camp out and everything, and just not elaborate glamour camping or anything, you know. It's going to be camping tents mostly, and just have a music fest and have some vendors come and, you know, sell the rares and stuff. But I think it'd be something that the more I think about it, the more it's like, yeah, I want to do that at least one last time. I've been out of the pagan events for about 5 years, so at least one last time. One, how would you say?
Hurrah!
Yahoo!
Final hurrah!
A
right.
moment. So, but
The
yeah,
finale.
I haven't talked to Melissa and see if she still wants to do that with me, and I would love to have you both to come and do
Let
that.
us know.
And
Yep.
you know, we'll see. I like to do it right now, but you know, I can't. It's too soon.
And I was a bit
lot
of
of
a trip,
planning.
but we definitely would need to plan.
Yes, definitely need a plan though. Sis, do you have any questions for our lovely guests?
No, I absolutely adored this. This was awesome. I learned a lot, and I can't wait to go to your websites and listen to your music. It's great.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much for coming on and educating all of us.
My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Well, thanks so much for inviting us. It was quite fun. I love
Yes.
chatting with Alexian.
Yes. Love my Meren.
He's
Mwah.
just like one of those big
Mwah.
teddy bears. You just got, you know, you just got to hug and squeeze and, you know, smooch on and everything.
Well, his voice is on some of my music, and my voice is on some of his music, so it's nice.
I have
Yeah.
to share this. So, like, before I started the Alexian show, which is now done, I was trying to think of a jingle for the, you know, the show opening, and I'll just say a very nice gentleman from Salem came down, and I was at a gathering, and he met me in person, and he was all smiles and I was all smiles, and as he's walking away, he goes, "You're just a big old teddy bear, nothing like they were saying." And I'm like, "What are they saying about me?" You know?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And so the big teddy bear ended up in the jingle. So there's another song idea. They're all around you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Exactly.
a Florida witch with something to say. A single, you know. The Alexian show, right? The teddy bear face came from him.
I love that.
They're everywhere.
Oh, great. Well, to the audience, jump on over to the website, download the music, give them a shout out to everybody you know, share everything, for them. If you at a pagan event, please, try to catch up with Meren King on her travels to events. And like always, like, share, and subscribe to Within the Cauldron as well. And to everybody out there, we love you and many blessings.
Thank
And
you all.
say thank you, you both. You both just hold on for about 5 minutes and we be out of here. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Blessed be everyone.